All right. So, I've waited a very long time to be able to tell you this story. Lots of people have asked questions, and it's about time to talk about my life-changing event that happened in November 2020. So here we go. Beginning of November, just where we're at, I'm working as an educational assistant. I'm in 5 days a week. I'm wearing the full garb and doing everything. It's still a little bit crazy. With Impact and Drumline, we can't find a place to rehearse. We're just at a point where we're like, okay, time to launch the COVID program. But this happened. So I worked a week, and then on Friday, typical me, I drive from Dundas all the way across the city to get some Burger King for dinner. So I go home, I have my Burger King, and I have a hernia. I'm not healthy, like, let's be honest with everybody, and it's now huge. My hernia is the size of a small child's head, and it hurts. I've felt this pain before. I've had incarcerated hernias and bowels before and issues like that, and I know what's happening. So I lie down. I'm just going to lie down and figure out what's going on. At some point I start throwing up. It's time. So my mother takes me into the hospital. I figure it's another incarcerated hernia. They're going to fix it. They're going to send me away. Everything's going to be the same as always. I get in, and they don't want to fix it. The doctors, the surgeons, there's been too many hernias. I'm getting a little freaked out now. They're trying to put a tube down my nose. They're sending someone who's brand new, who's never done it. It's not working out well. My roommate is offering me pain meds. Things are going crazy. I don't know what's happening. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm in the hospital. I don't think this is going to happen. The nurse comes in and says, "You're leaving in 15 minutes for surgery." I'm still freaked out. I don't know what's happening, who's going to be there. The surgeons don't want to do it. Things are crazy. I roll in. I look to the right, and I see Dr. Barbara Heller, the lady who did my last surgery. This lady is amazing. This lady saved my life in November 2020. Along with all the nursing staff and everybody at St. Joe's, words can't express. So I look at her, she says, "Do you have any questions?" I'm like, "You're here? I got no questions." It's pretty much the last thing I remember. I do remember coming through. I don't know how long it was. Apparently, from what my mother's saying, I was incubated with the tube in the throat thing, and then I was put into a medical coma. So I don't know how long it was, 3-4 days, I don't know. So I come through, and I just remember screaming for my mom. And then at one point my mom walked in, and I was so happy to see her, and it was amazing. So what ended up happening was I had 2 incarcerated valves, so 2 points of my valve, which was tied around and not letting stuff through. And between those 2 knots was a dead chunk of valve. And I was filling up with feces. And as my brother always says, I knew you were full of, but now the doctors proved it. Anyways, it's not over yet. So I'm in ICU for 2 weeks. The entire 2 weeks that I'm there, I am hallucinating. These hallucinations were memories. They were as live as anything I've ever done in my entire life. And it was just, they were extreme. I could tell you that one day I was talking to my father, who came in to visit me, and I was laying on a jail cell, and we were talking. At one point, all the nurses were prisoners. and they had me in their jail, and the SWAT team was coming in to save me. There was another point where I was battling the Russian Navy, and thanks to Will, who was a St. Mary's Drumline kid, he brought in the Canadian military, and they saved me, and we saved the day, and it was great. But I got to the point where the nurses would always come in, and the first thing they'd say to me is, "Where are you?" Because in my head, I was never in that hospital room. This room right here is where I spent 2 weeks. Now, it didn't end after 2 weeks. I was sent to 6 surgical, where I'd been before, and the hallucinations kept going. At this point, my father, who, and none of this is true, by the way, is paying this doctor to test me to see how much stress I can take. So people are coming in, they're torturing me and doing weird things. I'm calling people, like Deb, and saying, "I can see you. You're right there on the other side of the window. What do you mean you can't see me?" And they're at home. My brother and Mike John are running around the square trying to save and protect me. And I call my brother and I'm like, "Craig, you got to go home." And he's like, "Okay." I can remember one time I called my dad, and they were trying to kill me with ice chips because I loved ice chips so much. They were trying to kill me with them. I said, "Call a lawyer, call the police. You got to get down here right now. Where are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm on my way to the cottage. I'll be there when I get there." Because they used to come. They come the same time all the time. I called my mom, angry. "Why aren't you here?" Trying to get released. It was 3 weeks were brutal. I ripped PICC lines out of my arms. People had to tell me these things. And for the nurses in the ICU and 6 surgery, I'm so grateful for you. I can't. Thank you. And the person you met was not who I am. But I thank you. And there was one nurse, specifically I remember, who got in trouble because she kept sneaking me ice chips. I think her name was Kara. I don't know. I think around 30, and she was, I want to say Korean. I don't know. I don't want to get all crazy here. But these people were amazing, and I put them through the ringer. And still to this day, I feel terrible for it. I feel it's just brutal. So now I'm in 3 weeks. Week 3 of hallucinating. There's even a point where I'm sitting on my bed looking at the window, and there's a drum corps tribute to save, to thank whatever, to come by, and I'm watching the bands and the color guards and all this other stuff go on, and I can see Ed sitting there, and by the way, it wasn't Ed. When I left, I realized it was a stop sign. But there's so many things that went on, and it was constant. It was, I don't know. I've gone through and done a lot of work with my social worker, who's amazing, down at Social Work Solutions Canada, to work on the PSD and to help me get my mind back together, my mind straight. So after week 3, they're like, "We're moving you up to physio." Now, mind you, I've now spent 3 weeks in a bed. Besides having physio come once in a while, and I remember in the ICU working on just standing and then walking, and then so now I'm going to physio, and as soon as I get into my room, something feels different. All the hallucinations stopped. I was now where I am, who I am. So we started physio. I was determined. They're like, "What do I said, I got to be able to walk up angles to get my driveway. I got to do stairs. I got to do this. I got to do that. I worked. I remember my dad showing up in the morning, in the evening, going for walks, and my mom showing up every day. It was simply amazing. And Pam and Bud, wow. The nurses at St. Joe's, and not just the nurses, The people that are taking you around to your appointments, the cleaner, everybody works. They're amazing. Thank God for you every day. So I'm doing my thing. I'm going through. Everything's getting better. I'm getting stronger. They're starting to talk about me leaving. We're in week 5 now. I've been in the hospitals. I'm getting stronger, and yes, now to see things close up, I wear glasses. But I don't know how to say this. So I was released and went home. And 2 weeks later, I went to the follow-up appointment with the surgeon, and then one of the other surgeons that was in there came in before, and she's like, "You're Corey Pierce? You? We didn't think we'd see you again." And this isn't the first person who told me I wasn't going to make it. But I truly believe that my work here is not done, folks. And since that point, for the last year, I've been here in my basement. And my entire perspective on life, the way I look at it, the way I think about everything has changed. I write. I read 11 books last year from front to back. Actually read. I'm physically active. I take care of my health. I am now at the lowest weight I've ever been in my entire life. And I feel strong mentally. I've gone through a lot, and I can't wait to share more of my journey with you. And we're going to have more of that coming up. I want to post more blogs. I want to tell you what's going on. I want to share with you the blessing that has become my second chance, the start of my new life. And I don't care what Kevin Lauer says about you. I think you're all amazing. And always believe in yourself and be you. Biggie out.